Look, Dick, we've been working with these focus groups and advertising executives to try and sell the war on terror.
I reiterate, we are still being recorded, and there still may or may not be clients back behind the two-way.
These guys are pretty sharp. Go on.
There's a problem. The results show that people are confused.
You all support the president. You hate terrorism, yet you're still confused. Can you tell me why? Anybody?
Don't we have to just get Osama bin Laden? He did it.
So why are they calling it a war? A war with who?
Okay, thank you, Mark. Jasmine, jump in, please.
I don't get what this Al-Qaeda is. Are they a country? Like, why can't we just bomb them?
That's really interesting. Is anybody else confused about what Al-Qaeda is? Show of hands, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a lot of you, right? Would it be less confusing if it was a country?
Damn right. I'm angry as hell. We've got to fuck someone up.
Got it. Mark, that's really strong feelings coming from Mark. I'm interested. Does anybody else feel the same or agree?
They understand we're at war, but they don't know against who.
They want a country. It's cleaner, simpler.
That would certainly help us legally.
Well, looks like it's time to take Iraq.
It is about goddamn time.
It's called the Office of Special Plans. Tenet is not yet serious enough about the threat that Saddam poses, the global war on terror. But I can promise you that this intelligence group will be.
Wolfie, I got something.
Truck transmissions. If there's a donkey with a radio up its ass, I want to know what it's transmitting.
I think that's an excellent idea. We want to take that motherfucker Saddam down for a long time.
Here's a report that says Mohammed Atta, one of the 9/11 hijackers, may have met with an Iraqi spy in Prague.
It's a really strong statement. Does anybody agree with that statement?
Wait a minute, we can't just bomb people.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
It's from Czech intelligence, and they question its credibility.
Up into Prague, they question everything.
Who wants to be an anonymous source?
Make sure you work in the phrase, we don't want the smoking gun to be a mushroom cloud. That focus group through the roof.
There will always be uncertainty about when he will acquire nuclear weapons. But we don't want the smoking gun to be a mushroom cloud.
There is a smoking gun or a mushroom cloud.
Simply
we have waited
stated,
too long.
There is no doubt that Saddam Hussein now has weapons of mass destruction.
We got to get rid of this dictator. He's got anthrax. He's got all these weapons.
There is no doubt he is amassing them to use them against our friends, against our allies, and against us.
When, and not if, but when Saddam creates and uses nuclear weapons, what will we tell the American people?
Saddam Hussein will continue to increase his capacity to wage biological and chemical warfare.
To show that we will stand up for what we know to be right. To show that we will confront the tyrannies and dictatorships and terrorists who put our way of life at risk.
Winning a second UN resolution authorizing war against Iraq. So
The troubled world
will go on
and the
next.
hopes of an oppressed people.
Tribe has spoken.
Polling for an invasion of Iraq is at 53%. A focus group show people still aren't sure about a connection between Saddam and Al-Qaeda.
And France and Germany have both said that they will not join our coalition, and neither will Israel.
Harry and I, we went to the wall together with Conda. We prayed together. Israel's one of our closest allies.
They said an invasion of Iraq would destabilize the region, sir, and they don't believe Saddam is an immediate threat.
Well, that's not good. I really want a strong coalition for this.
I have an idea. Secretary Powell has the highest trustworthy ratings of all of us. What if he gave an address to the UN and the American people to push this over the finish line?
Carl, I have been very vocal about my reservations about invading Iraq.
No, Colin, you're such a nervous Nelly.
We are talking about invading a sovereign nation without any provocation, Don. It is a sovereign nation, Don.
You're wrong.
What's the exit strategy? What about the intelligence? Has anybody tried? Does the intelligence matter to you at all?
Please,
you break it, you bought it.
You
break it, you bought it.
Hey, all right. Let's slow down. Enough of that, guys.
You will. Gonna take Saddam down or not? You are the president. War is yours. But, UN and some coalition do not share powers that are yours alone.
George, make sure Pal sees the intelligence.
Sir.
Colin, I want you to make that speech. I'm president, and I want this to happen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I look forward to being briefed on that intelligence.
On another note, I've been handed a credible report of a small terrorist enclave in northeastern Iraq. If we're gonna invade, we suggest taking it out before.
Let it go, George. We have bigger fish to fry.
Let me see that intelligence.
Of course.
That classified document described a terrorist named Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, who had started as a drug dealer and pimp before becoming fully radicalized in a Jordanian prison. Zarqawi went to meet bin Laden in Afghanistan.
Did he or did he not meet with Al-Qaeda?
But Zarqawi had vowed to kill all Shia Muslims, and bin Laden's mother was Shia. So the meeting didn't go over well.
They had no operational contact.
Hogwash.
Larry, have you seen this speech?
Yes, sir. It's bone thin. I saw at least 5 pieces of disproved intel in there.
Who wrote it?
Yeah, they said it was the president, but I think you can guess who really wrote it.
Well, there's no need to yell, Larry. Yeah, well, we reviewed the speech. We gave some notes.
Pal really doesn't have a clue, does he?
After the U.S. invaded Afghanistan, Zarqawi set up shop in Iraq. It was the only connection Cheney had between Al-Qaeda and Iraq.
The Security Council will now begin its consideration of item 2 of the agenda. I call now on the distinguished Secretary of State of the United States of America, His Excellency, Mr. Colin Powell.
My purpose here today is to share with you what the United States knows about Iraq's weapons of mass destruction, as well as Iraq's involvement in terrorism. Iraq today harbors a deadly terrorist network headed by Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, an associate and collaborator.
Powell's UN address was seen by millions of Americans, but other people were watching as well.
Collaborator of Osama bin Laden and his Al-Qaeda lieutenants. Zarqawi's activities are not.
The great general of America saying his name over and over again immediately made Zarqawi a star.
Staying in the capital of Iraq for more.
Allahu Akbar!
Within a day, he had gone into hiding.
Ties to Al-Qaeda, but these denials are simply not credible. They are simply not credible. An Al-Qaeda source tells us that Saddam and bin Laden reached an understanding that Al-Qaeda would no longer support activities against Baghdad.
By the time we invaded Iraq, 70% of Americans thought that Saddam Hussein was involved in 9/11.